Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay these days. I'm coming back to C++ after a good 10 years, and I wanted to do a bit of a refresher course to catch things up. And that's when I came across this course by John Purcell. This is actually for complete beginners, so if you're not a complete beginner, this might not be that great for you. But what I found quite interesting about this course is that somewhere down the line, he actually does go into creating a program based on SDL. And as an aspiring game programmer, a graphics programmer, I do like to maybe start with a refresher that is more focused around graphics APIs. So I thought it was a good idea to give this course a shot. Um, One of the problems I did have while I was working on this was how to get SDL set up. The course was created by John Purcell, and I hope I pronounced his name correctly. And John seems to be working on a Macintosh, and as a result, as a person who works on Windows, I couldn't follow the exact steps he did to get things working. So I finally managed to get it to work. So I thought I'd create this video for anyone who might find it helpful. A few things first. I'm using Eclipse CDT C++ to um, to develop the projects, just as John follows on his exercises. The Probably the only difference is that I'm on Windows 11 and I use an AMD Ryzen 7 CPU uh, in my laptop. So first things first, I have installed MinGW. This is the GNU C++ compiler for Windows, and I use the 32-bit/64-bit version of it. And when it comes to SDL, what I would recommend you to do is go straight into their GitHub repository and download the latest version of SDL based on your platform. So for me, at least, when I went through all of these, I decided to go with one of these two, the MinGW tar.gz or the zip file. Once you've downloaded it, you can extract it to a folder that you like. For me, it was SDL2 in C. Um, if you go into these folders after you've extracted them, you'll see that um, you find that you have two folders here that end with MinGW32. Depending on which platform you're targeting or which platform you're using, you may have to use one of these uh, source files, or you would have to use one of these source files. For me, despite the fact that I'm on a 64-bit computer, it seems that for me what works is this i686 folders set of files. So that's what I'm going to use in my projects as well. So once you have started with your Eclipse project, I would say it's better to set up your dependencies. So right click on the project and go to properties. For me, this is a C/C++ project, so I would get these options here. So if I expand the build and go into settings, I would see a few compilers here, the GCC C++ and also the GCC C compiler, along with the MinGW C++ linker. So we need to set up a few things here. First things first, you need to go back to your SDL, the folder you extracted SDL into. Go into the platform that works for you. For me, again, it's the i686 one, and you can see there are a couple of folders here. So if you expand the include path, you'll see that most of the headers that you need to use in your programs from SDL are in here. So I would copy this path and add it to the include path on the C++ compiler. Just to be on the safe side, I would add the same to the include path of the C compiler. And next up, in the linker settings for the library search path, I would go back to this folder, go 2 folders up, and when you come here, you'll see the lib folder. So I copy the path of the lib folder and then add it to the library search path. Once that's done, you need to add these 3 libraries here. SDL2 and SDL2 main are the ones that are mainly SDL based. For some reason, even though I have the MinGW W64 installed, it doesn't seem to work for me without having this library attached. So that's pretty much it for the settings here. One thing you will probably notice is when you actually link to the SDL.h and try to build something. Let's try to build this project, for example. You might come into this error here. So if you're a Windows user, this is thrown out because of one of the declarations in SDL.h. So if you go into SDL.h and SDL main.h, you will come across a place where you will see that it looks for a certain entry point to your program, and it seems to be based on different platforms that you probably might be targeting. So what I realized is for Windows, instead of the standard main function, what you need to use is something called winmain. And once this is done, your project compiles just fine and also executes fine. So in my case, based on the same tutorial done by John Purcell, I am basically initializing SDL here, and if it fails to initialize, I throw a message, and if everything is fine, I throw a message saying SDL initialized, and then I quit. So let's see how this works. And there you go. So SDL all set up. Hope this helps someone down the line. It was definitely not easy to get it set up, but this video should help you get it set up within a few minutes. Thank you and have a nice day.